Welcome to Love Light with Dr. Jean Marie Farish. Today, we'll show you how to use the spirit of love and self-worth to improve the connections with everyone else in your life. This program is your weekly gift, and it will keep on giving. You'll see. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jean Marie Farish.
Well, greetings and a hearty welcome, everyone. I hope you're all faring well. I'm Dr. Jean Marie, your Love Light host, coming to you from the Voice America Empowerment Channel, shining love light into your hearts and homes to inspire and empower you to create a life you love. And many thanks to our listeners worldwide who tune in live and on demand. Our show today is designed to inspire you to own your power with our amazing guest, Dede Lyons. Do you believe in yourself and acknowledge your worth? Do you have the courage to speak and live your truth? How can we release old patterns and adopt a healthy mindset that encourages positive beliefs? In an article by Bonnie Marcus, published in Forbes, 10 Steps to Own Your Personal Power. Steps include acknowledge and declare your ambition. Replace negative self-talk with positive affirmations. Advocate for yourself and others. Ask for help when you need it. Speak up and share your opinions and ideas. Acknowledge your fears. Schedule quiet time. Build a supportive network. Maintain a growth mindset and practice self-care. Those are great strategies, but only you can take responsibility for yourself and your personal growth through life experiences. Moreover, to be your best self with full self-expression to speak and live your truth. And our guest today, Dede Lyons, will help us navigate our lives and share strategies to empower us to own our power. Dede is an empowerment coach, author, angel guide, and founder of Feel Good Express Lifestyle Program. She empowers clients with the tools to attract a joy-filled, abundant life, whether you're working towards self-love, business branding, attracting a soulmate, opening spiritual connection, or revamping a marketing plan. Dede's Feel Good Express practices will catapult you to achieve your personal and professional goals. So now I welcome Dede Lyons on our show today, Own Your Power. Welcome, Dede.
Thank you, Jean. It's such a treat to be here with you again. And I just love our synchronicity and also how you empower so many people that you touch with love and light. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. And that's why we attract guests like yourselves who share empowering messages to encourage and inspire listeners to stand in their power, own their power, and become their best selves. And Dede, I know that in order to kick our show off today, you're going to share an angel card with our listeners. Can you tell us a little bit about your cards and the message that you will share that's relevant for our show today?
Well, I have these angel decks, goddess decks, and I love to use them in my sessions, but also as a theme card when we're opening a show or a class or a podcast. So I'm shuffling now, and we're going to get a theme for our show together, Own Your Power. Let's see what comes up. Harmony.
Love that.
Okay. So when you get the harmony card, it means that, and I'm sure you are, we're all ultimate harmonizers at our base, at our core. And we're really good about keeping that nice flow of harmony going into and out of our lives and our relationships. So that's the theme for today, harmony. And if you saw the card, it's a beautiful angel playing a violin.
Beautiful. Thank you for that visual. And that's such an empowering message because we do have to be, first of all, in harmony with our whole self, our physical, mental, emotional, spiritual aspects of ourselves. And sometimes we get that all fragmented, but we have to really look at how to be in harmony with ourselves, because as we are in harmony with ourselves, then we project that out to the outer world. And as we say, it creates that positive ripple effect for change and creates more harmony in our lives for ourselves and others. So thank you so much for kicking off our show with that positive theme for today's show. Well, Dede, tell us a little bit about yourself. Was there a time where you did not own your power, and what helped you develop a healthy mindset to own your power?
I would say that my self-love journey really helped me to own my power. And it started almost 40 years ago when I was in deep analysis and I learned how to love myself. So that is the key or the underlying component for owning your power. If you love yourself inside and out unconditionally, everything in your life changes and pops for the better. So there was a time, yes, definitely, when I was caught up in maybe how people would perceive me or people pleasing or putting my needs second. But now I'm in my power and it feels so good.
Mm-hmm. So what helped you develop that healthy mindset for self-love? Was it anything in particular that you did to contribute to owning your power through self-love?
Well, one of the main things I did is I filled myself up with self-love. So get this visual of this beautiful layer cake. So because when I went to therapy, I was trying to learn how to love myself, right? Because I didn't get the maternal love I needed as I was growing up. So the therapist and I worked together on filling me up with self-love. So this is how I visualize it, and I help other people visualize. Think of yourself with this beautiful layer cake, right? Every layer going all the way from your head to your toes, and you're filling up all the layers with self-love. So when you want to attract a new love or a new career or new friendships or whatever, you're not looking for that person to fill you up. And that's how I attracted my soulmate 38 years ago, was because he was the icing on my cake, the candles, the sparkles, because I already filled myself up with love. Mm-hmm. And there were different tools that I used. You know, one of my big things is a self-love list that I have visible all the time. It's all the things that I love about Dede. And that helps a lot. And do mirror work, get in front of that mirror and tell yourself how much you love yourself. But there's, you know, a number of tools that I recommend.
Sure. And we'll get into those tools in the second segment. But thank you for sharing your journey. And I, too, can relate to those sentiments, those challenges, and loving myself, feeling worthy, moving away from people pleasing and seeking my worth in others. And for our listeners out there, loving yourself truly makes a difference. So this show, in terms of owning your power, the main theme really is about self-love. So Dede, what is your perception of owning your power? What does that look like and feel like?
It feels really good. You start to get so comfortable in your own skin. You feel more confident. You feel more happy. And, you know, I love this quote that Oprah did on her finale show. I was working at the NBC affiliate then. And she said in her last show that there was this thread that went through every guest she had. They just wanted to be noticed and heard. And she said, moving forward, if you can tell as many people in your life that whether you like, love, whatever, I hear you, I see you, and what you say matters, because that's what we all need.
That's very important and so relevant. We all want to be seen and heard. And, a lot of times we dumb ourselves down by not being expressive of our needs or sharing our gifts and talents. So that is so relevant. And if there are listeners out there, really, think about that. How are you not being seen? How are you playing small? How are you not sharing and owning your voice? That's so important in terms of standing in your power, owning your power, and believing in yourself and having that self-confidence. So, Dede, are there risks to owning your power?
Yes. It's usually not popular when you start putting yourself first and speaking your voice and talking about your needs and wishes. Because if you haven't done that and you are in the other space of putting your needs last and people pleasing, it's not going to be popular, especially with family and friends. And I had one client that started to put herself first and her children and her husband second. And one of her daughters said, "Mommy, you're such a narcissist now." She's 13. She hardly even knows what that word means, but it was unpopular at first for her. But people started adjusting to her, owning her power, having a voice, speaking about her needs. So one of the risk is you might get some people pushing you back, or you might lose a friendship along the way, but the best thing about this is you're taking the risk and you're making movement and you're taking action. And it's going to be a little uncomfortable.
Yes, that is so true. I know when I was teaching my class on love and sharing the ingredients of love and had students to practice it, and I think I had a couple of students say, "Gosh, this really made a difference in me. I felt better." And my family members say, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Share it with them," because they really loved who she was becoming. And so it really wasn't a pushback. And we know there's so many different scenarios and relationship dynamics, but for this particular person, she said it really made a difference. And I said, share what you're doing with others, pass it on, because it really created more positive family dynamics. And we know that when we start making changes, there is a realization that we may no longer fit in the job, in relationships, in certain activities. Perhaps we either outgrow those activities or perhaps realize that they were unhealthy. And, the risk of really losing the old, releasing the outworn, that's quite challenging. So, some people have trouble with that. And of course, that's when we can seek out support resources, online or community resources, coaches, counselors, because sometimes we may not be able to do it alone when we start feeling this conflict, even with the relationship dynamics that may change, as Dede indicated. Some people may not want to take the risk of changing those dynamics. So it's a personal choice, and we all have those choices that we can make. Dede, what are some blocks to owning your power before we go on break?
Well, the first one is usually low self-esteem, putting others' needs first, as I said a little earlier, afraid of hurting others, and then caught up in people-pleasing. Because if you're caught up in people-pleasing, you start adjusting your personality and your behavior for all the different people, whether it's your husband or your child or your boss. You've got to stay in your own body, in your own space as much as you can. And just, stay aware. Stay aware. Am I adjusting my personality, my behavior right now for this person because I think they might not like this or that or the next thing? Just catch yourself. Because, you can catch yourself and go, okay, there I am. Oh, I got caught up in people pleasing. Don't beat yourself up. Just know that it's normal if you've been doing it for a long time, and you can have this heightened awareness of, I don't want to do that anymore. I really want to be me, authentic me now.
Yes. And sometimes, of course, fear is kind of the main thing. And fear comes with lack of confidence or low self-esteem. But sometimes there may be payoffs for not making changes, perhaps more attention, staying comfortable where you are, not risking disrupting the dynamics of the relationship. And then, of course, let's face it, change takes a lot of work. And for some, they may say, gosh, it's too much work to make those changes. But when we come back from our commercial break, we're going to talk about more strategies, self-empowerment strategies. But right now, I think it's time for us to take a brief commercial break. So stay tuned for more on Own Your Power with Dede Lyons, empowerment coach, author, angel guide, founder of Feel Good Express Lifestyle Program. Stay tuned. We'll return shortly.
Announcing Dr. Jean Marie Farish's new book, Love Mastery Devotion Journal, 21-day weekly prompts and affirmations. This is the companion piece to Dr. Farish's best-selling book, Living in the Spirit of Love, Our Natural State of Being. Through the new book, we invite you to cultivate a lifestyle of love through daily devotional practices over a 21-day period, following 9 ingredients in the recipe of love. Love Mastery Devotion Journal, 21-day weekly prompts and affirmations is available on Amazon.com and Balboa Press.
Jean Marie Farish's Center for Conscious Loving, LLC, cultivates a lifestyle of love and wholehearted connections through personal growth, altruistic services, and speaking engagements. Resources include classes, workshops, life care coaching, and creative service projects with an emphasis on cultural arts. Visit the website at drjeanmariefarish-consciousloving.com. That's drjeanmariefarish-consciousloving.com. Or click the link on the Love Light show page.
Best-selling Authors International news honors best-selling authors around the globe. Dr. Jean Marie Farish is featured in the newly released issue of Published magazine. To have first access to this treasured resource, go to publishedmagazine.com. Vicki Winterton and Dr. Jean Marie Farish have compiled a dynamic book, We're All in This Together, Embrace One Another, an anthology with 24 highly diverse co-authors who share how to spread the message of love, resilience, inclusivity, and compassion. This book is an invaluable source of uplifting, inspiring, and positive insights for spreading positivity in the world. We're All in This Together, Embrace One Another is available on Amazon.com. Be sure to get your copy today. Dr. Jean Marie Farish is proud to announce the release of her new book, Living in the Spirit of Love, Our Natural State of Being, available now at Balboa Press. This book will help you master your life and flourish in love. You'll learn how to become a better and more evolved you. Feel good by making life-affirming choices. Deepen your feelings and expressions of love. Tune in love and sustain the change. And flourish in love and find your joy. Visit BalboaPress.com and search for Living in the Spirit of Love and enjoy Dr. Farish's new book today.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You are tuned in to Love Light with Dr. Jean Marie Farish. Feel free to connect with our program through email or check out our links on Facebook. Reach Jean at Jean72Farish@yahoo.com. That's Jean72Farish@yahoo.com. And now, back to Love Light.
Well, welcome back to Love Light, living in the spirit of love. And if you're just joining us, we are with Dede Lyons, empowerment coach, founder of Feel Good Express Lifestyle Program. On our show today, Own Your Power. And in our first segment, we really kind of shed light on what owning your power looks like and what that feels like, what are some blocks. And in this segment, we're going to talk about self-empowerment strategies. And I like to just share that as we talk about self-love, it's important for us to realize that self-love is not being selfish. It's very important to prioritize ourselves and our needs. And I think it's important also for us to realize that loving ourselves is really showing and teaching others how to love themselves, and what's best for you in the name of love is also best for others. So, Dede, I think during commercial break, you were sharing a message about shining your light. I'd love for you to highlight that for our listeners who are tuning in.
Yes, shine your light. That's one of my favorite quotes or sayings. And I actually read a book by Marianne Williamson, and it was A Woman's Worth. She has a lot of books, but she said, you've got to shine your light, because when you're shining your light, you're giving others permission to shine theirs. Mm-hmm. So I try to shine my light as much as I can. And, I'm extroverted. So I like to dance. I like to do some fun poses in my classes and all of that. But the shining your light is really letting other people see who you are. It's all part of owning your power and being authentic.
And I think we talked about how people want to be seen and want to be heard, but I think we owe it to ourselves for full self-expression, to be seen and heard ourselves, to be responsible for shining our light, to be responsible for being seen, being heard, and sharing your voice. So as we look for others to give us permission to be seen and heard, I think we owe it to ourselves to do that for ourselves. That makes us more self-empowering and more confident. It boosts our self-esteem. So, it's all in the name of love. And and I say that with humility. So Dede, one of the things that we talk about a lot on Love Light is self-acceptance and self-worth, because that's really empowering. What's your recommendation for listeners who may have trouble believing in themselves? And I know we're going to move into our practices and tools, but do you have like a recommendation for those who have trouble believing in themselves?
The mirror work. And that's another one of my favorite tools, is getting in front of that mirror. And I picked this up from Louise Hay years ago. And you get in that mirror and you tell your inner child, eye to eye, soul to soul, heart to heart, how much you love her or him. And I do that very often. My inner child's name is Ayla. That's a whole nother story from the clan in the cave bear. And I get in that mirror and I talk to her and tell her how lovable, adorable she is and how I want to play with her all day.
Okay.
So that's a really good tool to get you out of the uncomfortableness mode about shining your light, because it's just you in the mirror with the bathroom door closed or wherever you're doing it. And you start to get really comfortable about who you are and who your inner child is.
That's so important. I know in my class, I've also had students to do that, and they would say, gosh, I love my children, I love my husband, but gosh, I'm very, very uncomfortable getting in the mirror saying, I love you. So it's not, for a lot of people, it may be easy, but for a lot of people, it's very difficult to do. It's not that easy, but it takes awareness. It takes commitment. It takes discipline. It takes courage to practice, because even as we share strategies and tools, you have to really take this to heart, embody the practices. And to me, the litmus test is truly how it makes you feel. And it brings me to mind, I studied a lot of the work of Henry Drummond and adopted the recipe of love from his ingredients of love. And he was an 18th century, Scottishman, author, scientist, evangelist, world traveler, and he wrote about love. And one of the things that I read that he said every time he passed the mirror, that he would see himself as God. He would see himself as divine. And I thought that was so profound, because he was doing mirror work before it even was thought about. So I just want to share that piece.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
So, you can really make it a practice when you pass a mirror, just see yourself as divine. If you have a hard time saying I love you and really getting into that, just, lightly just say you're divine, or something that's, really easy for you to do. To take it to heart. And as you do that, it becomes a practice. And as I write about, it becomes your natural state of being. And it's not going to be very hard for you to do and realize that you are divine. You are a spark of divine love. So Dede, you're going to share with us some feel-good express tools to help us own our power. So go ahead.
Yes. So I just adding one thing to the mirror work that you were talking about, and how it's, takes a lot of courage and it can be a challenge. But I like to also wink at myself in the mirror, the rear view mirror, when I'm driving somewhere. Just peek in there and give myself a little wink or a little, a big smile. And that's another way to get comfortable too with it.
Yeah, I love that, because, whatever works. And I think it's great for us to have a sense of playfulness, a sense of humor. We don't have to take things so serious, because sometimes we think, gosh, this work is so hard, it's not easy, I have to practice. But try to, whatever you're being taught or whatever you're learning or reading, try to give it a lighter touch, make it fun, and you can make the adjustment appropriate for yourself. You don't have to do it exactly like someone else indicated. You can adopt your own easy practice, like Drummond. He just gently would look in the mirror and say, you're divine, and keep going, So whatever works for you, just keep that in mind.
Yes, absolutely. So the number one tool here for owning your power is believe that your needs come first. Like, really believe it and start behaving like they do. And I know this can be a challenge if you grew up in a family where you watched your, mother or grandmother or the women in the family putting everybody else's needs first. You might have picked that up. So it's something that's so important. Once you put your needs first, you're going to start to feel more empowered and happier.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because when you brought that up earlier and you said the mother, the child indicated that the mother was narcissistic. And just think about it. When people are regarded as selfish, and narcissistic, and if you're finally taking charge of yourself and owning yourself and taking responsibility, you might get called all kinds of things. And that may take you off your track of self-love and self-care. But that's where the commitment, and then use it as an educational tool as well. Like the mother could educate the daughter, that I'm doing this because it makes me feel good about myself. And why don't you try this? As opposed to maybe just keeping it for yourself, or I'm practicing this for myself and I'm agitating and irritating everyone else, like the student I had in my class. Her family members say, what are you doing? And I said, share it with them. And then they started practicing. So it made it fun. And it was an educational tool for the whole family, where they actually saw the difference. and they felt better about themselves and about each other.
Exactly.
Okay? Mm-hmm.
And it, like you said, it's going to make you're going to know that you're putting your needs first because you won't feel depleted. You won't feel resentful. You won't feel overwhelmed because you took care of yourself first.
Mm-hmm. And that's an important piece because sometimes we get it kind of confused that, gosh, if I give all my love and care for this, my husband, my children, or family members, or to the job or whatever, then it's something about this expectation in return. If I did this for you, I expect you to give this to me. And what happens, it builds up resentment because when you don't get it back, then you don't feel good about giving all of your time and attention to others wherein it depletes you. So I think we have to be aware of that because resentment is not really about love, So we have to really realize that. Okay, Dede, go move on. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the next tool is eliminate all negative self-talk. Now, that can be a challenge, and sometimes it seeps back in. But if you stay mindful and aware of what your thoughts are, because remember, every thought in your head you've put in there, and just stay mindful of how you're talking to yourself as you're driving to work or on the phone or whatever you're doing. Be mindful of how and get used to saying, I'm so lovable. I really love myself. I'm compassionate. I'm kind. I'm a good person. Start giving yourself really positive self-talk. Mm-hmm. And day by day, week by week, you'll have less negative self-talk.
Yes. And I think, it's kind of impossible to get rid of all because it keeps coming back. Right. We've lived this life. We've gone through childhood. We've had a plethora of experiences. And for some reason, we have a tendency to hold on to negative thoughts. And sometimes it's important for us to gently reflect on, why am I feeling this way? Because sometimes we say, okay, just dismiss that and bring in a positive thought to reframe it. I think that's so important. But sometimes it's, for me personally, if I get in tune to any kind of negative self-talk, it's like, why am I thinking that way? Why am I feeling that way? Let me gently reflect on why this thought keeps coming back to me. And it helps me to sort out and get clarity on, why am I feeling this way or thinking this way? And again, not staying there, but then reframing, as Dede indicated, to reframe it or interject a positive thought. But it is important for us to kind of reflect on, why am I feeling this way, so that we can honor our feelings. All right, Dede?
Yes, exactly. And some of it, might come from, a parent when you were growing up puts an old, it's an old recording that's in there that you can erase and make a new recording. But staying really cognizant of that is really good.
Okay.
So this is practice your Wonder Woman, Superwoman, Superman, these poses in the mirror. And I picked this up from a TED Talk by Amy Cuddy. It's one of the top 10 TED Talks. And she's all about body language and how you're coming across. So she recommends, before you go into a big meeting or an interview, go in that ladies' room or men's room, get in front of the mirror. This is more mirror work. And just put that pose, that power pose up there. And just say, I am empowered, I'm powerful, I'm lovable, whatever it is you need to say to make yourself feel that way. Because she says, not, what does it say? Fake it till you make it. She says, fake it till you become it. So the more you start holding and walking and presenting yourself, because, 73% of how people see you is from body language. The other is voice. So just keep that in mind. It's a really good way to just lift up your spirits and help you feel empowered and have fun.
I love that, to have fun with the mirror work. It can build confidence within yourself. It's not being arrogant or or any of that. It's really just trying to build your own confidence up. And I think as part of that, to become more true to yourself, to really see yourself as being this, I think as opposed to just faking it, you are truly that person. You are truly innately self-confident. You are truly innately joyful, peaceful, happy. And it's so important for us to, really believe that this is who we truly are. So you really don't, it's really not about faking it. This is your true divine self. And I think we're really getting ready for another commercial break, but Dede is going to take us through the remaining Feel Good Express tools. But for now, I think we are up for another commercial break. So listeners, stay tuned for more of these self-empowering Feel Good Express tools that will help us stand in our power and successfully navigate our lives with our outstanding guest, Dede Lyons, founder of Feel Good Express Lifestyle Program. She's an author, angel guide, and we'll be back shortly. Stay tuned.
Voice America is on your favorite smart speaker. If you have Alexa or Google Home, go ahead and give us a try.
Hey Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast on TuneIn.
Dr. Jean Marie Farish is proud to announce the release of her new book, Living in the Spirit of Love, Our Natural State of Being, available now at Balboa Press. This book will help you master your life and flourish in love. You'll learn how to become a better and more evolved you. Feel good by making life-affirming choices. Deepen your feelings and expressions of love. Tune in love and sustain the change. And flourish in love and find your joy. Visit BalboaPress.com and search for Living in the Spirit of Love and enjoy Dr. Farish's new book today.
I'm Judy Satori. I'm a spiritual channel and activator of human potential. You might have heard me speaking on the Voice of America on Dr. Jean Farish's show, Love Light, because I've been speaking about the challenges that are besetting all of us right now and how we can surrender but also keep on going. I want to invite you to join my new Facebook group that is devoted to heart-centered connection and unity. Through this Facebook group, you can also join my free access question and answer session with Spirit on the first Wednesday to Thursday of every month. Just search Ascension Community on Facebook to join the group. In this session, I answer questions and transmit energy from Spirit to give you guidance and support. Because life on planet Earth ain't easy right now, and there is so much help from above, from beings of love and light, from multidimensional realities who are actually here with us, wanting to step up and support us. I welcome you to become part of our ongoing group conversation about evolutionary change and how it's affecting us as human beings and affecting our life today. Many blessings to you. You can find out more about me and my work at www.ascensionlibrary.org. Have a wonderful day.
Vicki Winterton and Dr. Jean Marie Farish have compiled a dynamic book, We're All in This Together, Embrace One Another, an anthology with 24 highly diverse co-authors who share how to spread the message of love, resilience, inclusivity, and compassion. This book is an invaluable source of uplifting, inspiring, and positive insights for spreading positivity in the world. We're All in This Together, Embrace One Another is available on Amazon.com. Be sure to get your copy today. Best-selling Authors International news honors best-selling authors around the globe. Dr. Jean Marie Farish is featured in the newly released issue of Published Magazine. To have first access to this treasured resource, go to PublishedMagazine.com.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You are tuned in to Love Light with Dr. Jean Marie Farish. Feel free to connect with our program through email or check out our links on Facebook. Reach Jean at Jean72Farish@yahoo.com. That's Jean72Farish@yahoo.com. And now, back to Love Light.
Well, welcome back. You've been listening to Love Light, Living in the Spirit of Love. And today we're with Dede Lyons, empowerment coach, author, angel guide, founder of Feel Good Express Lifestyle Program on our show today, Own Your Power. And Dede was sharing some Feel Good Express tools to help us navigate our lives and own our power. So we got through a couple, and Dede's going to finish up with those lifestyle Feel Good Express tools.
Okay, so here we go. The next one is to reveal your true, authentic self. Now, at first, that sounds like, what? Okay, so when we reveal our true, authentic selves, we start to feel really good about who we are. And again, and I know I've said this earlier in the show, we're not caught up in what other people are thinking about us, or we're not caught up in what is the person's reaction to the more we be our authentic selves. And that's really just being you. For me, it's like being Dede. Sometimes I'm silly, sometimes I'm giggling, sometimes I'm extra serious, sometimes I'm extra bold. And speaking of, being your authentic self, you want to share your light side and your, as I call it, shadow side, not your dark side. I mean, it's okay. Like for me, I get a little bossy, a little controlling, and it seeps in. But I go, okay, why is that seeping in? And I check in and go, why am I being extra controlling here or bossy? But it is a part of me, and I have to love and accept it. Most of the time, I'm compassionate, kind, loving, filled with light and love and having a good time. But every once in a while, the shadow side comes in. So it's okay. And just be with it and know it's a part of you. So that to me is being your authentic self.
And I love what you reveal, because sometimes we know we have the shadow side, the light side of us, all these variations that make us who we are. And it's very important to put things in proper context. When am I being excess in this area? When do I need to do things in moderation? Is it really necessary? And I think what's very empowering is for us to ask ourselves some gentle, reflective questions and answer those questions. Otherwise, we'll keep repeating the same patterns, whether it's trying to be in control or whatever it is that doesn't serve us well. We know controlling ourselves, being in control of ourselves, being in control of how we respond is very important. But making that adjustment and putting things in moderation is important in terms of our own self-love, healthiness, developing good relationships or whatever. So thank you, Dede, for sharing that.
Absolutely. Okay, so the next one is really all about love and self-acceptance and doing it unconditionally. So it's love and accept yourself unconditionally. And it's more of what we were just talking about too, accepting all the sides of yourself and really loving yourself. And one of my favorite things to do is the self-love list. And that list, I help clients with it. I have one, and you keep it on your nightstand or your credenza. It's very visible, and it's all the things you love about yourself. And if you're working with me privately or in a class, you're going to read them out loud, because when you talk out loud about things that you love about yourself, like I love that I'm such a good dancer. I love that I like to be playful. I love my blue eyes, whatever, all the things you love, like a full page, and you recite them out loud. So not only do you hear them, the universe, the angels, and maybe you're in a class and your other people are hearing it and they're rooting for you, but that love list keeps you in that unconditional love and acceptance space. So
Yes,
important.
that's important because we're always unfolding, we're always evolving with life experiences. Life is always changing, and challenges are always present. So we always have to keep practicing, be aware, and again, the feel good factor is what we're after. Does this make me feel good? And if it does, you want to really, it's very reinforcing. You want to keep doing it. And I think as Carl Rogers said, we're always in a state of becoming. We never just arrive at a certain place, because there are always challenges. And so I just love that. And your next one?
Yes, I totally agree because, I'll tell people about my self-love journey. And, I learned to love myself in my early 30s, and that took 3 or 4 years. And then I attracted my soulmate, blah, blah, blah. And okay, I'm done with self-love. No, self-love is this huge journey that
Indeed.
I'm on all the
Indeed.
time. And like you said, because you're expanding, you're growing, you're changing, it's a life journey. That's what I want people to know. That self-love journey is not like a couple of weeks or a couple of years.
Yeah, and what worked perhaps years ago may no longer work in your current life. And I think it's very important as you go through your self-love list to look at, because we do a lot of inner work. A lot of spiritual work is inner work. And as we look at our strengths, it can be, well, I am courageous. I have courage. I have strength. Look at those inner qualities. And I know we have the outer qualities that we so admire about ourselves, but it's really important for us to really look inside ourselves and look within the depth of who we are. I stood up for myself. I had the courage. So be aware of that as you make your love list and recognize your true innate strengths. Okay?
Yes. So the next one is express yourself with clarity, confidence, and grace. And you were just talking about that, Jean, about the courage. And this takes a lot of courage, but you don't want to, when you're asking for what you need and sharing your needs and your wishes, do it with that, from that space, not a space of anger or resentment. It's just talking about what you need and not being attached to results. And people are like, what do you mean not being attached to results? Not being, just put it out there to that person and not get so caught up in, oh, are they going to like this? Are they going to give me what I need? You're just voicing what you need, and whether the person can give it to you or not is not why you're voicing it. You're voicing it because you're sharing what you want in the hope that you'll get it, but you're not so overly attached to whether you're getting it, because that's going to take you into a whole nother state of uncomfortableness or looking for something or feeling a little skeptical or resentful. You just want to stay in that space of clarity and confidence.
And that is really great for you to really share that. Express yourself with clarity, confidence, and grace. And as I talk about in terms of one of the most important ingredients of love is humility. So I think it's up to us to really do things in moderation, be open to learning, be humble, not arrogant, because some people may take it out of context and look at being confident as arrogant, but always use humility in every aspect of your life, because it really endears you to other people, and you have that kind of modest approach about life. And I love what you said about attachments, because Buddha said that expectations and attachments lead to suffering. So if you are looking for a payoff or a benefit or wanting someone to expecting someone to say something about how you're responding or how you're acting, be confident within yourself to live your truth. Okay? Dede, you have one more here.
Yes, release your need for approval from others. Now, this is a real tough one. Especially with social media, and we put things out and we're waiting for a comment or a like or a love or whatever. But when you release the need for it, it's great to get approval and love and adoration and all of that. But the need for it, that's what you're releasing, because you're the one that needs to approve of yourself and your behavior and your authentic self. It's coming from the outside is nice. It could be fun, but the most important thing is you love and approve of yourself.
Yes, that's important, especially in the face of social media, where we see so much and we kind of make assessments about other people's lives based on what they're posting. And we know that people want to post their best self, their best image or whatever. So it is important for you to seek approval first within yourself. The outside world, that's another story, but everything takes inside of ourselves. How we're perceiving ourselves, how we're perceiving the world is projected in terms of how we see ourselves. Well, Dede, those are great Feel Good Express tools. Let's see. Tell us how can listeners connect with you?
Okay, so you can go to my website at feelgoodexpress.com, and you can also reach me via email, dede@feelgoodexpress.com. And also you can reach me through Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn also.
And you have a special gift. We're going to close out shortly. Just share briefly your gift.
Yeah. So the gift is for my angel empowerment session, which is a total of 90 minutes. It will be 15% off all listeners, and we can do it either on Zoom or in person. And the code that you would put in is Love Light.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. And so we really thank Dede for being here today. Thank you so much, Dede, for sharing your empowering Feel Good Express tools. We invite listeners to listen back on demand, share our show with others, connect with Dede to learn more. And we also encourage listeners to get support. It's not easy to make changes. Get support as needed. And there's resources in your community, online, there are groups, there are individual. If you want to connect with the coach or counselor, you can do so individually or with the group. So thank you so much for being on our show today.
Thank you. I so appreciate it. So I'll leave you all with my mantra. I am a love magnet.
Okay, wonderful. Well, much gratitude to the Voice America team for making this show a reality and for sharing and shining their love light around the world. Begin anew each day with my new book on inspirational thoughts for today, available on Amazon and in ebook format. I'll close with two of my excerpts, one on divine power and one on remember. Divine power. Dwell in your divine power. There is power in humility, self-discipline, and inner strength. There is power in your words as you speak and live your truth. Every resolve of good and every work of faith is divine power. You have authority over self-destruction, weaknesses, and chaos. You are worthy to receive glory, honor, and power. It's your birthright. Be raised by your own power and uplift others. You are divine. And remember who you really are, your natural, loving, peaceful, and joyful self. Be your own lamp for guidance and inner wisdom. Life is an adventure and experience of self-discovery. Enjoy your life and do not waste precious moments. Control how you respond. That is your power. Reflect on the past for personal growth. Be present, live fully and wholeheartedly. Walk gently, love deeply, and let go gracefully. You can always begin again and start a new chapter. This is Dr. Jean Marie, your Love Light host, coming to you from Voice America. And until we meet again, remember, an empowered self is a loving self. And keep your love light shining. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you for listening to Love Light this week. Be sure to join Dr. Jean Marie Farish again for another program next Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time and noon Eastern Time on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a wonderful week filled with love, self-worth, and better connections.